Welcome to Weather Impact Live. Meteorologist Mike Prangley, and we've got our very own meteorologist Lee Southwick. Great to be with you here from St. Pete to Jacksonville, Florida. And I tell you what, Lee, I just did some laps in the parking lot. We have a Prangley Runner Index of a 10 out of 10. And I think there's some big differences between the West Coast and the East Coast of Florida today for sure.
Okay, well, I will let you know that it actually feels pretty good outside with the 80s and the breeze, not making it feel too bad. But man, those beachgoers today, unfortunately, I have a friend who went to the beach at 10 a.m. And texted me that they're already leaving because it's too windy for them.
Yeah, a little rough at the beach and for the boaters for sure. And you know, if we're trying to see some sunshine, if you're in Northeast Florida, I'd say, yeah, the best beach weather definitely on the west coast of Florida. The west is best. In fact, here we're not dealing with the local nor'easter like you are there. So I know, Lee, you've got some showers moving in where we're tracking these fair weather cumulus clouds here behind me in a beautiful weekend overall. So what do you got on your end, on your side of the state?
Oh, man. Okay, don't rub it in too hard for us. So let's start with a look right now out at Neptune Beach. This is where we've seen some struggles with the wind mainly. And if you take a look at our live cam that we have a red flag flying. So that is for the rip current risk that we do have. And again, too, what we'll have to watch out for is not only the rip currents, but the rough seas of 3 to 6 feet. We are going to continue to see those gusty conditions. Umbrellas are flying, tents are flying, and of course the coastal showers that are going to move in as well. So right now, the wind out there continuing to kick and push those showers inland. So let's start south and work our way north. Flagler County, you have some of those showers out there. Some of them now moving into Putnam too. There's one shower near Crescent City that's moved in from St. Johns County. So southern St. Johns County, you have some downpours that are working their way inland. This rain just moved through St. Augustine, Crescent Beach, Butler Beach, and also now moving on shore near places like Nocatee and Palm Valley, Ponte Vedra. You are getting that rain. So heads up to those of you near Jacksonville Beach, especially South Jacks Beach. You'll have to watch out to see if some of that rain makes it on shore, but definitely Ponte Vedra and points south. So the showers after this, we're not done. More showers are possible throughout the day today, on and off. We have that persistent onshore flow. You can see winds in Mayport at 64 degrees. St. Augustine at 16 miles an hour. Mayport at 24 miles an hour. St. Simon's Island, 21 miles an hour. NAS Jax is at 18 miles an hour. But of course, we got the stronger gusts coming in now. We've seen these work their way up over the past couple of hours. So now NAS Jax just clocked a gust of 26, but Mayport, 32 mile per hour wind gusts there. That's blowing the sand around, making for some unpleasant beach conditions. So those of you along the beaches in Northeast Florida, you are under a wind advisory. This persistent onshore flow also leading to the coastal flood advisory up and down our beaches entirely. It also includes the St. Johns River Basin. There's a rip current statement for everyone too, and of course that small craft advisory. So if you want to try to go to the beach and brave it, hey, more power to you, but I don't recommend getting in the water. High rip current risk, rough surf of 3 to 6 feet like we mentioned, and those gusts up and down our beaches of 30 to 40 miles an hour, especially for the Northeast Florida beaches. We do have Florida Fin Fest going on at Seawalk Pavilion in Jacksonville Beach. Temperatures will be staying more comfortable in the 80s and then down into the 70s, but of course it's that wind you have to deal with. Ladies, don't wear any skirts or dresses that would blow around. Everyone has to hold on to their hats. Winds of around 25 miles an hour, gusts to around 35 miles an hour. I also can't rule out those isolated showers moving on shore occasionally. So again, 12 to 10 o'clock tonight, that wind is going to stick around. But at least the temperatures will feel comfortable. You shouldn't be sweating too bad out there. As mentioned too, don't go swimming at the beach. It's just not worth it. Rough surf, rip currents. But if you want to get in the pool, especially for those of you inland, I really do like this forecast. If you get away from the beach, your rain chances drop. And so therefore, You got more sunshine. You have the comfortable temperatures, just a little breezy, but not too bad. Go swimming in the pool. Enjoy it. Get out there. So we'll have these passing clouds throughout the day with these coastal showers and the breeze, as we talked about. But for the temperatures, we will be in the 80s. Normally this time of year, we are around 88 degrees. So these temperatures technically are a little bit cooler than normal. So what about those rain chances if you do want to get outside and enjoy the more comfortable temperatures that we have? Those of you in St. Augustine and Point South, that's where you have the highest rain chances. Across a good portion of northeast Florida and coastal southeast Georgia, I can't rule out some showers, isolated showers. Obviously, some of you have already been seeing the shower activity, but the farther inland you go, the better your chance to stay dry. So from Lake City to Folkston to Waycross, I do believe you are staying dry. This is, of course, all on Saturday. What about tomorrow, Sunday, the second half of the weekend? I think it's very similar to today. If anything, maybe a few more showers. Some of those showers moving on shore. Temperatures will still be in the 80s. It's still breezy. Winds out of the northeast 15 to 25 miles an hour with stronger winds. So it's still not the best beach day. We still have the rip current risk, the rough seas, and again, those coastal showers moving on shore. Monday, breezy. A few stray showers still possible. Here's a look at my most accurate 7-day forecast. Temperatures will be staying in the 80s. Rain chances not overwhelming. I do think Sunday actually has the highest chance of rain. And again, it's the closer to the coast you are, that's the higher chance of rain you have. So, Mike, unfortunately, the beaches have the worst forecast, and of course, it lines up over the weekend. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that rip current risk, rough seas, coastal showers, and of course, the very windy conditions.
It's going to work out. Okay, so I always keep it positively, no matter what side of the state I'm on. In fact, I'm looking forward to coming home tomorrow, and I've got the jumbo shrimp hat on because it's their last homestand this weekend of the entire season. And we're going to play ball. All right. So, and of course, the Tampa Bay Rays.
I love that hat. I'm jealous.
Well, we need to go to a game. I guess this is the last weekend here, but I'll get over there. Hopefully next year, definitely we'll hit some baseball games over there. So I'm looking to get home, watch some Jaguar football, and have some flatbread pizza. So this is perfect weather to watch football. Maybe have some of your favorite recipes. What kind of things do you eat with the football there?
Well, I'm going to a Gator watch party tonight, RIP, but I'm bringing buffalo chicken dip.
Perfect. That's one of my faves. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to taste some of that buffalo chicken wing dip, and we're talking about great buffalo wing chicken dip in Northeast Florida, and even here in the west coast of Tampa. But the big difference is we're probably taking the dip outside with the big TV screens because, yeah, as Lee was saying, a little rougher the farther east you go toward the east coast of Florida. So let's go over the weather wall, take a look at the big scenario. We're talking about weekend weather with a big stark contrast from east to west. There it is. You got the wow weather here in Tampa, near record lows possible tonight. We'll talk about that. And then you've got the nor'easter. Okay, local nor'easter conditions. That means the winds are coming in off the northeast from the ocean, and you have the elevated tides once again, that water being pushed and just trapped into the bay, the estuaries and the river at least, and along the intercoastal. And then here in Tampa, by the time the wind comes our way, yeah, it's kind of drying out. We don't have to worry about the Atlantic Ocean here. It comes across the state, the northeast flow, dries out. So by the time we get any shower chances, they're very brief at best, usually inland. And by the time they head to the west coast, they pretty much fizzle out. So if you look at the big picture, notice where you see the deep green shaded area here. We're talking football, of course, and some good eating weather today. But if you're a Bulls fan heading to Miami to cheer on USF, there could be some rain around. That's something to watch for the game. Kickoff at 4:30. We'll have more on that football forecast coming up with Lee. And then there's our northeast wind about our area around this area of low pressure off the northeast Florida coast. So that's what's controlling the weather, why we've got the big differences. In fact, for us, beautiful weather. We talked about wow weather, pumpkin spice, everything that's nice. And you can see temperatures mid to upper 80s. And here in Tampa, 88, 89. That can be cool to us, especially if that dew point's low, and that's what we're seeing this weekend, much lower dew points. So feeling great, rare air, very low rain chances at 10%. Most of the models coming in here in the last hour, less than 10%. Okay, so we look at our weather vibe. This is from Bel Air Beach, and again, I don't mean to rub this in if you're on the East Coast, but it's a 3.5 hour drive to the West Coast to experience this. We got our beautiful sunset tonight. at 7:37, I believe. That's one of my favorite things to do. Go to the West Coast, go to the Bel Air Beach, Sand Key, and take it all in. We take a look at the satellite radar composite. We take a look at Tampa, Hillsborough County, Pinellas looking good, and there's the difference. There's the showers moving onshore towards St. Johns County, Flagler County. It looks like the farther south you go, especially from Duval along the East Coast, the better chances of rain. Today for us, just fizzling showers. So we've got the Prangley Runner Index. Outstanding, a 10 out of 10. And what's unusual about this, usually here in Tampa, we start at a 10 and then I have to lower it. By the time we get to lunchtime, usually it's like a 6, and then I have treadmill weather and a 2. But today, we've got 10, 10, 10, and just keep it on coming. Yes, so invigorating, runner's high. There's the fast runs out there. And the big difference maker here is definitely the dew points here, the runner's best friend. So the dew point, the true measure of humidity is what I like to call it. And when you're seeing that dew point drop into the mid-60s, that's a big deal here. So we're no longer talking about air you can wear. Yeah, maybe a touch of humidity, a little muggy, but mainly a nice break as we head through the weekend. What I'm watching, though, is can we get one more surge of dry air from the north? Okay, so tonight winds may turn a little bit more to the north instead of coming out of the northeast. And then notice we do have a little bit of some drier weather trying to move in, at least some lower dew points. So we'll keep an eye on that in the temperatures. Today, notice we're 82 officially in Tampa, 80 in Jacksonville. There's St. Augustine at 80, getting ready for a few showers. There's that dry surge. So we're looking at the dew points. Tallahassee just at 63, and with that north wind, we should get another surge in this afternoon and this evening with clearing skies. So we'll keep an eye on the low 80s from St. Pete to Lakeland. You look at the almanac, we should be 91 degrees and a low of 76, but we know it's not the heat, it's the humidity. So even though you see 88, not far from the average, usually this 91 here in Tampa feels more like 100, 105. It's usually sweltering this time of year. So this 88, feeling about 88 today. That's the good news. And you can tell we've got the lower humidity. Whenever we drop to 71, that's a big deal. 5 degrees below where we should be. And of course, as we look at the latest data, and we were talking about all the computers showing less than a 10% chance of rain for Tampa. So our inland counties, right as you cross the Howard Franklin Bridge, mid to upper 80s, we could touch 90 maybe toward areas of Riverview, Brandon, for instance. But again, feeling good out there. And look at those temperatures this evening, mid-70s. You want to take some of that buffalo chicken wing dip outside and watch some football, looking good. And at the beach, we talked about that beautiful sunset on the way after a gorgeous sunrise this morning. We got low to mid-80s as we head through the evening hours. Temperatures only, in the 70s as we head into 9 o'clock. Beach forecast does include, there's the sunset, 737, UV index of 9, so make sure you have the sunscreen with that north-northeast wind. And one thing, Lee talked about the rough seas off of Jacksonville, northeast Florida, and the first coast. Same thing here in Tampa. Even though it's beautiful outside, if you're a boater, fisherman, not so nice. Okay, so there's that north flow, that north wind that's bringing us this nice weather on land. But by the time you get out over the water, a moderate chop, we're exercising caution. North winds 10 to 20 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. Gulf water temperature still at 84 degrees. That's a lot better than it was. We take a look at the forecast dew points again. Lee, we're talking about Tallahassee 50 as we head into Sunday morning. And then my thinking is some of that dry air will make it to the west coast. So we could actually have lower dew points than Jacksonville tomorrow morning. So it's going to be an interesting forecast. This is why I live for this stuff. Every degree to me is a big difference like you. So we love seeing this. There's another dry surge coming in as we head into Sunday night, Monday, and then back to reality for all of us. Okay, we've got that tropical moisture taking over as we head into mid to late weeks. So that'll really be our next best chance of rain as we head into that 7-day forecast. So notice beautiful this weekend, low rain chances, and then the tropical surge comes in as we head into Thursday. Best chances rain at 60%, and then Friday as well. Notice temperatures will heat up this week, some low 90s, but nothing we can't handle for sure. And in the tropics, we're going to get to this morning. We've got a few minutes here left. 50% chance now of tropical development. So Lee, in my big 3 today, I talked about, we're enjoying the nice weather on this side of the state, but the tropics will wake up this week. I'm looking for maybe one area to watch in the Atlantic and then maybe a second area closer to home. So a lot to watch this week. We don't want to let our guard down this week for sure.
No, definitely not. We are, always keeping a close eye on the tropics. Nothing unheard of, as we've already passed that peak of hurricane season. We are in a very active time. So, do you want to talk about the tropics now, or sure. I have a jumbo shrimp forecast?
Oh, I want to see the jumbo shrimp. Yeah, we'll go sports right now.
Okay. Please put that hat back on, because I would love to see the hat as we talk about this forecast. And you know what, too? I was thinking about it. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I'm fairly sure this isn't the last weekend because the Shrimp made it to the playoffs for the first time in a long time.
Yes.
And so I do believe it's something like September 23rd. We have some more home games, so you will be at those games. I know it,
I have
right?
a chance to see them. This is the best news of all. So I knew the last homestand was this weekend, but you're right. With playoff baseball, I can get out there and watch the Jumbo Shrimp. So I'll be out in Power Alley. I like the new area they made out there. And, some good hors d'oeuvres to go. They've got some great shrimp at the stadium as well. But I love that forecast there. It does show the big difference once you cross the intercoastal and get a little farther inland. Big difference today for sure along the First Coast. So some good news for baseball lovers.
Yes. Okay. So great news. You and I will both be at those games because it's horrible, but I haven't been to a game yet.
Okay, we're definitely going.
My schedule. I love the games. Yes, I have Jumbo Shrimp shirts, so I need to wear my gear too, and obviously buy a hat.
Okay, yeah, we'll do a team building. We'll do a team building thing out there. So I can't wait to see you, and we'll have some fun out there.
I love that.
Okay, how about football?
Okay,
football.
So there you go.
How about
There's your Jumbo Shrimp forecast.
Yeah, Jumbo Shrimp forecast. We've got temperatures falling into the 70s, mid to upper 70s, and that northeast wind may be a little chilly for some. So if you're sensitive to the chill, you may want to wear maybe some long sleeves, a long sleeve Jumbo Shrimp shirt for sure. And for football lovers, I know we've got a big slate of games there, Lee, as well. Oh, here they come. We've got Georgia, the Dogs at Tennessee. Boy, that's going to be a good one. I think that's going to be a great game. Lots of sunshine. And then, of course, our Gators at LSU. I'm a Gator dad, and Lee's a Gator alum. And what do you think, Lee? Last week I feel like I may have jinxed our Gator. I'm not going to do that this week. I'm going to behave this week.
Well, who do you think is going to win then? What does that mean, behaving?
Well, last week I went all in. You heard me. I was talking smack about, and I should not. USF, I said they had a good team, but I just thought the Gators were a little better. Tonight, it's in Baton Rouge, LSU. I'm going to take LSU. Surprise pick.
So I do think the Gators are going to play well because I think they have something to prove. I think the players are going to show up and feel like they got something to prove. I think Napier's coaching for his job, if we're going to be honest. So I think they're going to play well, but I worked in New Orleans before this. I have been there. I've been to those games. I don't see how a team like the Gators currently win in Death Valley at night. I don't see it.
Yeah, and they call it Death Valley for a reason, but that's good. That's okay. The Gators, anything can happen, and I can't wait. Hopefully we have a good game like you said. Tennessee, Georgia, you know what? I've got to go for the underdog. I'll go for the Vols, okay? And then we got another game, of course, USF and Miami. And, USF's got a great team. I don't want to pick against them. I'm not picking against USF again. They're going to make it 3 in a row. Okay, that's my prediction. 3 in a row for USF.
Oh, we should. I mean, as Gators, we are now cheering hard for USF. I hope they win.
That's right. And then the Gators.
I am all Team USF.
Right. And the Gators are going to prove us wrong, hopefully, tonight. Okay, so we did the reverse psychology this week and noticed I didn't have any Gator colors, so I said we're going to do everything differently. We're respectful to LSU, and then anything can happen. So hopefully we can talk about this in good terms tomorrow.
And you took the Vols, but I'm actually going to take the Dogs. I know that people think Tennessee's going to kick Georgia, but I am taking Georgia because I personally don't ever really want them to win, and they win a lot, and I'm just going to tell myself mentally right now that they're going to win.
It should be great.
We can talk about the tropics, too. I do have a Jags forecast as well, though, if we want to talk about that,
let's stay with the football. I know you've got the Jags forecast. While you put that up, I'll get our Buccaneers forecast up on this side as well. And, this is in Cincinnati. What's cool about it, it could actually be just as hotter than Cincinnati than here in Florida, right?
Yes, I do think it's going to be a little bit warmer. Now, the other thing, though, not too humid, so should feel pretty decent, probably feel very similar to how it feels here because we have the lower temperatures, but still some humidity making it feel a bit warmer. So all things considered, it's nothing that anyone on the First Coast isn't used to. They're just kind of staying in that same weather. I'm so jealous. My brother has traveled to Cincinnati and is going to be at the game tomorrow. So we're going to look for him on TV. But I think everyone who has traveled going to enjoy the same sort of weather, but lots of sunshine. So don't forget the sunscreen and not too worried about any sort of rain.
Yeah, great forecast there. And I have had a chance to go to a football game in Cincinnati, and it's a great venue, and it's going to be a great time for your brother. So tell him to have lots of fun and enjoy the sunshine. He may have more sunshine, of course, than Jacksonville. And here in Tampa,
definitely.
we're ready for the Bucks, and they're also undefeated. So we're perfect. Both of our teams. Let's keep it going. We got the Bucks at Texans. Now notice it's a Monday night game at NRG Stadium in Houston, and there's this big ridge of high pressure that has us in this persistent pattern across the country, and they're having some of the hottest weather they've had all summer long. I've been getting calls from the Midwest and Missouri. They're just sizzling there. So I have a high impact, and I know both teams they're used to the heat, but it could have an impact early in the season. The players still getting in shape. Near 90 at kickoff. Pretty amazing, not looking for rain, and then we'll keep it in the mid to upper 80s. So if it's one of those knock them down, drag them out slugfests like I expect, the team that's in the best shape will win, or the best hydrated team. So it all goes back to weather. You see that, Lee? You know that.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you brought it back to weather, too. But you're absolutely right, because that's toasty. Fans, stay hydrated, too.
Yeah. Okay, so, hey, we've got a few minutes. And it's sunny and beautiful here in Tampa. A lot of folks want to know what it's going on in the tropics. And I did say the honeymoon's about over. We do have that wave we're watching in the Atlantic. And what I did is when I put it into motion this morning, I still don't see much development anytime soon. It's going to take its time really organizing. You're seeing that as well, Lee?
Yes, I am. And, with this, it's dealing with some dry air, some just unfavorable conditions, and so it's going to take a while to develop. But once it passes that unfavorable environment, I think it could really get its act together. Yeah,
in fact, on the latest Euro, there was some circulation here. In fact, we call that up. But it didn't show really anything coming together in a big way, it looked like, until next weekend. So if we get that on here, I'm just going to must over here. Here's the latest coming in. The overnight run. We still don't have the 12Z or the morning run, but you can see this is a wave that's just come off Africa, and we put it into motion, and there we go. Yeah, we're talking about very slow. So and look how far. It's just a sluggish well out in the open Atlantic. But as we get toward next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, starting to see that circulation come together a little better. And a lot of the models do have, I think, agreeing on a name system. This could be our next one, and then we'll see what it does from there, because it's so far out, Lee. We got to take it a day at a time, of course. And then the second thing that got my attention on this Euro this morning is that Central American gyre that really starts to kick up this time of year, starting to maybe come alive in the Caribbean and the southern Gulf of Mexico. That's another area I circled that we have to watch as we head into the last week of September. So we could go from very quiet, like we typically see, and we've been talking about this, to having a couple areas to watch, if not more, right?
Yep. And again, normal for this time of year. That's why we've been telling everyone when we were quiet and luckily so quiet, that was the time to start, or not start, but check up on your hurricane plans, because making sure you're restocking your hurricane supplies kit, because I get it. I also break into my water supplies, or sometimes my snack supply too. So especially when things are quiet, it's just easy to grab a water bottle and head to the beach. I get it. But make sure everything's restocked now, because now is the time where we are constantly checking the tropics. You don't have to at home. Mike and I do that as meteorologists. We check every model run, and then we let you know when there's something to start watching. So all we're telling you now, since you're joining us on this long form streaming, is we're giving you that insider look at what we pay attention to and watch, and then we'll let you know if, and unfortunately likely when, things start to get a bit more active and when we need you to start paying attention to.
Yeah, some great advice there. And, we're looking at the European models coming together. We're looking at the different origins and the tracks in the tropics. And it does look like as we go into our last week of September, especially, really start next weekend, last week of September and October, we're in a much more favorable pattern. And it's just a reminder that we still have like 55% of our season left. And you can see those origins. We're watching really all areas. And the thing that concerns me, Lee, is some of these things could pop closer to home. We look at some of that heat content in the ocean right now and in the Caribbean. And if we pull this up, you can see this is what really feeds these storms. And what I worry about most, like you do, the rapid intensification. So where you see the deep reds and then the purple, magenta color. This is the area that's untapped, and things could really change in a hurry. It's one of those scenarios where it just reminds me over the last couple of hurricane seasons where we've gone to like from a tropical depression to a major hurricane, and a lot of times that can occur in just 24 hours, 36 hours. So area to watch again as we head into the next couple of weeks. Really may not be far from home. So I know we're always saying, well, it's way out in the Atlantic. We have time. People saying, okay, we're okay. But as you said, Lee, no, we got to watch everything this time of year, especially with all those tracks I showed you and the latest tropical heat potential as well.
And I'm glad that we have had a quieter start to the season. Again, it helps us stay prepared, stay vigilant. So that's what we just need you all to continue to watch or stay vigilant. So we'll watch it for you. We'll let you know. But remember that things do stay active all the way. I mean, hurricane season doesn't end until the end of November, but we stay very active even into October. So we have had a somewhat slower start to the season than was originally forecast, but it doesn't mean that we won't have a very active rest of the season. So recently we've had a good bit of Saharan dust out in the Atlantic, that drier air, but as you can see, that is really coming to a close. We have that tropical wave now out in the Atlantic. There you go. He has it pulled up there, Mike does, with the heat potential and the possibility of getting our next named storm here. Maybe beyond 7 days. It's by next weekend we're really watching it.
Right, and then by Tuesday.
You can see that there. So that looks like Tuesday now. It's starting to organize a bit more. So not 2 days from now. We're talking next Tuesday. So
yeah,
10 days or so out.
Yeah, great point. So that's still another 10 days at least out. So again, lot to watch in the tropics as we get into the last part of September, October. We're still really in the peak and the thick season, the peak of the season, the thick and the meat and the potatoes of the season. But we're here for you every day, and that's what's nice about these streaming shows. We know things can change in a hurry, and even on our quieter days like here in Tampa, we're watching things even closer and watching these long-range models that shows a possible name system near the Bahamas by Tuesday the 23rd. And then, of course, I'm watching near the Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean. So here we got just a few seconds left. Lee, have a wonderful rest of your day and keep doing a great job, as always, keeping folks safe with that nor'easter.
Yeah, we are watching some rain move through Nocatee now, so we'll keep an eye on it for you guys.
Okay. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow. We're enjoying this. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.